Hi, welcome to this video presentation by the Unknown India YouTube channel. Please view it on a laptop, desktop or tablet for better video quality and use a headphone or earbuds for better audio quality. In this short video, we will arrive scientifically at the dating of the Taittiriya Samhita of the Krishna Yajur Veda. If you like this video, please click the like button, share it with your contacts, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified of new videos and other announcements. Thanks. Yajur Veda is one of the 4 Vedas and has 2 versions, namely Shukla Yajur Veda and Krishna Yajur Veda. As the name Yajur implies, it mostly deals with yajna or rituals. The Samhita, which literally means put together, of Krishna Yajur Veda is currently available in 4 recensions, compiled by 4 different sages or rishis, namely Taittiriya Samhita, Kataka Samhita, Kapisthala Samhita and Maitrayani Samhita. Of these, the Taittiriya Samhita by Rishi Titri or Taittiri is very popular and consists of both hymns or mantras and prose by way of commentary. That is a mix-up of both Samhita and Brahmana. It has 7 books or kandas, 44 chapters or prapatakas or prashnas. Why this video? Because Western scholars led by the German Indologist Max Müller had arbitrarily and without any logic whatsoever assigned a very recent dating period of 1200 to 500 BCE to all the 4 Vedas and their constituent parts, namely Samhitas or hymns, Brahmanas or prescriptions for rituals, Aranyakas or spiritual explanations of the rituals, and Upanishads, the philosophical essence of Vedas. This is rather outrageous, ridiculous and unacceptable because it has no logic or scientific basis. Therefore, we reject it and present an alternate method to determine the dating. Earlier, we had published a video on the age of the Rig Veda and its link is given in the description below. We will be arriving at the scientific dating of the Yajur Veda, that is Taittiriya Samhita, based on astronomical data contained in the Taittiriya Samhita and Taittiriya Brahmana themselves, as expounded by Bal Gangadhar Tilak in his book The Orion or Antiquity of the Vedas. Tilak was a multifaceted personality, freedom fighter, lawyer, journalist, researcher and scholar in several languages including Sanskrit. Tilak's research on the age of the Vedas is presented in his book The Orion or Research into the Antiquity of Vedas. It is available both in print and downloadable PDF document. I have provided the link in the credit section as well as the description of this video. Tilak's book Orion was first published in 1893, but even a year before its publication, that is in 1892, a summary of its findings had been published in the proceedings of the 9th International Congress of Orientalists held in London. Its download link is also provided in the description. In order to appreciate the astronomical facts presented in this video, it is necessary to have a basic understanding of astronomy. As the Earth spins on its axis, producing night and day, it also moves about the Sun in an elliptical orbit that requires about 365 1/4 days to complete. The Earth's spin axis is tilted with respect to its orbital plane. This is what causes the seasons. When the Earth's axis points towards the Sun, it is summer for that hemisphere. When the Earth's axis points away, winter can be expected. Similarly, we have the other 2 seasons, namely spring and fall, when the Earth is at the other 2 cardinal points of its orbit around the Sun. In addition to the Earth revolving around the Sun and rotating around its own axis, tilted by about 23.5 degrees to the vertical, it has a third movement. It wobbles in space like an out of balance top. That is, the axis of rotation of the Earth is not constant. It moves around, creating a virtual double cone in space. This is called axial precession. It is caused by the gravitational influence of the Sun and the Moon acting on the Earth's equatorial bulge. Planets also exert some influence, though to a much lesser extent. Because of this axial precession of the Earth, the observed positions of stars in the sky seem to be different at different points of time. The observed shift is 1 degree every 71.5875 years, or the full wobble or cycle of axial precession takes 71.5875 multiplied with 360, which equals 25,771.5 years according to NASA. Also, the position of the equinoxes, that is, when length of the day time and night time are equal, and the solstices, that is, the longest or shortest days, shift in a cycle. The timings of seasons also shift. A useful construct for describing the locations of objects in the sky is the celestial sphere, which is considered to have an infinite radius. It is a geocentric model, that is, the center of the Earth is the center of the celestial sphere, and the sphere's poles and equatorial plane are coincident with those of the Earth. All objects in the sky can be conceived as being projected upon the inner surface of the celestial sphere. The ecliptic plane on the periphery of the celestial sphere is the plane of orbit of the Sun, that is, relative to Earth. The 2 points on the celestial sphere at which the equatorial plane and the ecliptic plane intersect are the 2 equinoxes, namely vernal equinox and autumnal equinox. The point on the ecliptic where the Sun is most north of the celestial equator is termed the summer solstice, and the point where it is most south of the celestial equator is termed the winter solstice. The solstices are at 90 degrees to the equinoxes. The equinoctial colure is the meridian or the great circle of the celestial sphere, which passes through the celestial poles and the 2 equinoxes, the first point of Aries and the first point of Libra. The solstitial colure is the meridian or great circle of the celestial sphere, which passes through the poles and the 2 solstices, the first point of Cancer and the first point of Capricorn. The sidereal year is based on stars or nakshatras. A nakshatra is an asterism or a pattern. It may be a group of stars or even a single star. It may be part of one of the star constellations adopted by the West. We have 27 Indian nakshatras, some would say 28. What you see on the screen now is the equivalent names of these nakshatras in English, Sanskrit and Tamil. The nakshatras which are of interest in this video have been highlighted. Ritual offerings were made on every morning and evening, on every new moon and full moon, and at the commencement of every season, an ayana or half year. When this course of yearly sacrificial rituals, called Satra, was completed, it was naturally found that the year also had run its full course. These facts are borne out by several Vedic texts. As per these Shatapatha Brahmana verses belonging to the Shukla Yajur Veda and the Taittiriya Brahmana verse shown now, the Vasanta or spring, Grishma, Summer, and Varsha, monsoon are the seasons of the Devas or gods. Sharad or autumn, Hemanta, that is pre-winter, and Shishira, winter, those are the seasons of the Pitris or forefathers. The increasing fortnight is of the Devas, the decreasing one is of the Pitris. The day is of the Devas, the night of the Pitris. Again, the first part of the day is of the Devas, the latter part of the day is of the Pitris. When he, that is the sun, turns to the north, he is amongst the Devas and protects them. When he turns to the south, he is among the Pitris or forefathers and protects them. From these verses, it is clear that the spring was the first of the 3 seasons of Devayana, or the half-year period of the gods, and that the year in those days started when the sun was in the vernal equinox and went on up to the autumnal equinox when the sun was in northern hemisphere, or to the north of the equator. At the autumnal equinox, the second half of the year of Pittriyana or period of forefathers started, with the sun moving south of the equator to the southern hemisphere. Vasanta, spring, Devayana, the year, and the Satra or sacrificial cycle all began with the vernal equinox. The autumnal equinox, which came after the rains, was the midpoint or the central day of the year and marked the start of Pittriyana and the second half of the year, as well as the ritual cycle or Satra. Taittiriya Samhita, verse or Anuvaka number 10 in Prapataka or chapter number 4 in Kanda or book number 4, that is 4.4.10, lists all the 27 nakshatras and their devatas in order, with Krittikas being the first in the list. Taittiriya Brahmana 1.1.2.1 states clearly that one should consecrate the sacred fire in the Krittikas. The Krittikas are the mouth of the nakshatras. The reference here, of course, is to the start of the Satra or the annual ritual cycle. According to Taittiriya Brahmana verses 6 and 7 of Book 1, Chapter 5 and Paragraph 2, the Nakshatras are the houses of gods. The Nakshatras of the Devas begin with the Krittikas and end with Vishaka, whereas the Nakshatras of Yama, that is for Pitris or forefathers, begin with Anuradha and end with Apabarnis. It is therefore obvious that the vernal equinox was in Krittika star asterism at the time Taittiriya Samhita became available, that is, after its composition was completed. Tilak uses the axial precession tables prepared by W.D. Whitney in the additional notes to the translation of Surya Siddhanta, an astronomical treatise done by Ebenezer Burgess and himself. Using these tables, he arrives at a dating of 2350 BCE for the position of vernal equinox in the Krittikas. The same result of 2350 BCE is obtained in the online interactive precision dating model for nakshatras developed by Mr. Kishore Kumar and hosted on geogebra.org as per link provided in the description below. Here, the position of vernal equinox in Krittikas has been indicated. Please note that the nakshatras referred as ending of Devayana at Vishaka and beginning of Pittriyana or Yama nakshatras at Anuradha and ending at Apabarni can also be verified to tally with the respective positions of nakshatras as indicated by this model. Therefore, it can be concluded that the composition of the Taittiriya Samhita of the Krishna Yajur Veda was completed by 2350 BCE. Yes, it is 4350 years old. Please check out our other videos in the full playlist and also subscribe to our channel by clicking the respective links. Thank you.